Hello everyone and welcome back to the Roundtable Qualifier Tournament. We're here with our second matchup of a wonderful Sunday where we've got 6 matchups overall. This one's going to be mcy4 versus intercambing. I'm back once again. My name is Dio and I'm joined this time around by a different Brit. Welcome in, Shiva.
Yo! Brit number 2, joining the gang. What is up, everyone? I'm so glad to finally be casting 23. This is my first match of the year. So glad for it to be the Roundtable Qualifiers. And we got a great match, Dio. Unironically, intercambing and mcy4, both incredible all-rounders of both of their respective nations. They've both made massive marks in the tournament scene. Super good, well-rounded players. And yes, despite mcy4 being a little bit higher placement, I'm still expecting to see a really, really good match, for sure.
I definitely am as well. Honestly, really expecting to see both of these players bring their A game during this round. That said, we can take a little bit of a look at the two players that we have going up against each other in this matchup. It's mcy4, first of all, 3WC 2022 champion, Hong Kong player, and originally mcy3. Some very, very solid pin scores and a very, very good tech player, finger control player, aim control player. I'm going to kind of rush through this because we are apparently already doing the bans. So we'll just go ahead and quickly look at intercambing's very good DT and hidden player, very, very good tournament player, known for course ace and perennial appearances. And with that, let's get on to our set of bans here.
We already see quite a few bans here. mcy4 getting in that double time 3, really, really understandable ban. Intercambing, incredibly strong double time player in general. When it comes to finger control and speed, he is a solid threat in any situation. So really, really solid bans there for mcy4. Double time 4 is going to be banned for intercambing. Double time 4, very, very unique. A little bit more on the tech side, which is definitely something that mcy4 has a strong preference on. So this is, again, an understandable ban. Despite it being double time, this specific map in particular, the skill sets that mcy4 has for this specific map, CS0, mostly kind of high BPM ult with some really funky sliders, something that's more up his alley than intercambing, so that's a solid ban for intercambing. Hard Rock 1, also very understandable. mcy4 very consistent on that Hard Rock. All these bans, very, very simple, very, very solid. And the first pick has come through for intercambing. Double time 1. Any surprises here, do you think this is I think this is a solid pick. What do you think?
I don't think this is too surprising at all. Intercambing's a very, very good DT aim player. We saw on the pregame card lots and lots of very, very good DT aim scores for intercambing. So I'm not really all that surprised that this is what's going on with his first pick. Looking, I think, to just come out strong, pick something that he's good at, and hopefully take an early first point that way. mcy4, very good aim player, but not necessarily known for DT aim in tournament in particular. Really known more for tac, alt, finger control, aim control type of stuff, which is kind of what I expected the picks for mcy4 to be.
Yeah, this is definitely, as was already talking about. Honestly, I really think that intercambing got robbed in this qualifiers because his results aren't as strong as you'd expect him to be. But honestly, we're going to see that qualifier results definitely be different compared to his performance now. We know he's strong on double time, and we already see his confidence on this double time 1 pick. And we're already going into Torigako double time 1. Solid aim consistency on double time. AR 10.3, something 100% of intercambing's alley. And we're already going to the first Ki. The only really noticeable difference here is that small accuracy buff. Intercambing with that solid S-stats and mcy4. Not even struggling, to be honest. 99.5, really nothing to scoff at. But intercambing's powerful hold on that SS rank is going to hold him through with that small lead in the first quarter of the map.
Yeah, just a difference of accuracy right now for both of these players as they both continue to hold on to the FCs. Not a ton to say about this map other than what you've already seen. It's just aim consistency, slight burst consistency, and AR 10.3. So for both of these players who are relatively comfortable on all of that, it should look about this easy, as they really do make it look pretty easy here. This is closer to 7 stars, by the way. I think this is actually above 7 stars, even just from the aim alone. So it's not as though this is a simple map. Intercamping is just that good to be SSing, and mcy4 is just that good to be right alongside him. No longer an SS for intercamping, but I don't think it matters all that much. The accuracy still a % higher than mcy4's.
I think this consistency from mcy4, still regardless, is quite the threat here. You can see that he's still holding on to that combo past the halfway point. So really, if intercamping has that small slip up, mcy4 could really pull the rug from under him and sneak away a double time 1 pick. That accuracy dominance from intercamping is palpable, but you never know, a small slip up could really change the turn point of this match here. So far, we see a break. Not a break. I could break as in, a break as into chill. Players get to see both each other's scores. Intercamping knows that he's still got the lead, but the threat is still looming. Both players holding on. Solid FC so far. Accuracy advantage still strong in his favor, gaining about 50 to 40% accuracy score bonus for intercamping. But regardless, this is getting intense the longer this map runs. No breaks coming through the share. If we do see double FC, of course intercamping will be taking this. But obviously in the late stages of these kind of maps, it wraps up just a little bit, and one small mistake could spell the end of this map 1 for any player.
Yeah, we'll have to see which one of them is able to hold on, or if both of them do. Or if neither of them do, that's also a possibility. Both of them could just miss on the ending, and all the FC up to now could be for naught. But honestly, this map really just comes down to whoever misses first. If neither of them miss, intercamping wins. But if intercamping finds an early miss here in the last KI time, mcy4 will be able to come out on top. It's still 99.6, almost 99.7 accuracy for intercamping right now, who is just doing so well on this first pick. Not really much else to say besides that. Really, really solid first pick for him. But he finds the drop right at the end. mcy4 is still holding on to combo. Is there enough time? It's just going to barely go over at the end, it looks like. mcy4 holds on. Wow. And with the FC, no choke for mcy4. 31-100's not mattering. That's the full combo. And mcy4 will take it by 20,000, not even 20,000 score.
What did I say, Dio? The late stage of this map are nerve-wracking. mcy4 expressing it himself, man, but a solid FC. The accuracy meaning nothing. That miss from intercamping, that one small slip-up, led to losing a very valuable breakpoint. Double time is kind of the only edge that intercamping has, a major edge, at least to say, over mcy4, but mcy4 really pulling his weight forward here. As you mentioned before, not very well known for that strong double time aim consistency, but really popping off on this double time 1 and getting himself that first map. His pick is next, and it's safe to say he's got plenty of options.
It definitely has a lot of other maps left up right now. Only 1 pick into it. It's definitely a solid first pick, but unlucky start to things for intercamping with those misses. I mean, if those had come through just a little bit later, it still would have gone over. That was a difference of less than 20,000 scores, so there's really not a lot else to say besides unlucky timing. As for this map, though, 200 BPM tech map. A lot of cut streams in this map, a little bit of flow aim component, especially near the back end of the map. And the rest of it all just focused on that slider aim. Tons and tons of really fast, changing high velocity, weird shaped sliders in this map all over the place. So really, if that's not something you're comfortable on, you're going to have a bad time with this map. But it is something that mcy4 is very, very good at. Before mcy4 began the climb up into high ranks, he was already a tech player and has been a very, very good tech player in tournament for a long, long time.
Tech's been mcy4's bread and butter. He knows what he's doing on this kind of map, and No Mod 4 in this map pool is solid slider intensive madness. Still, it's got plenty of high velocity slider aim sections and slider jumps. Something that's up mcy4's alley for sure. Intercamping though, I do think he's got a small chance in this, but in terms of the comfort, mcy4 definitely has that early edge. Super early into this so far, just before the KI. Small accuracy advantage in favor of intercamping, but that is surely going to change as we're going into the first KI here. As you can see, multiple slider jumps, very high velocity. Slider aim is a big skill set to benefit from on this map. And so far, so good. few bursts coming through here for both players. Accuracy's definitely evened out a little bit. mcy4 now getting that little lead, just scratching that 99 accuracy mark. But still, both players holding on to that combo. Big bursts and big doubles coming through here. You can tell this map's kind of funky. But both players have held through for the halfway section. Slow part coming through, giving them a little bit of time to breathe. But until then, the next Ki is going to come through, and that might be where we see some breaks.
Yeah, once again, it's really all up to this back half, to the second Ki time after this build-up section. There's nothing more to say. Slightly high ACK for mcy4, but there goes intercambing's combo right before the hard part starts up, and that is just going to decide the map. Even if a break comes through for mcy4 at this point, it's already almost 100,000 score lead, and the combo for intercambing is not big enough to claw this score lead back. If we see multiple breaks now for mcy4, maybe there could be a comeback happening. But this score lead just from that slight edge in combo might be enough. There's another break for mcy4 though. Intercambing, similar accuracy now, bigger combo. I don't think there's enough time though, as we're getting right into the end of the map. There's only a sliver left. And yeah, this is still right around that 40k score advantage mark for mcy4. There it is, 32,000 score by the end of the map. Still in the lead for mcy4. A little bit closer than he would have liked probably, but still a lead up on intercambing once again for mcy4 in pretty similar fashion, with just a slightly earlier miss for intercambing deciding the map.
Honestly, such an unfortunate breakthrough from intercambing. You see that he held on for the rest of the map. That super hard section towards the end, with increasing sliders, constant sliders, begging you to break. He just missed on that small little end of that stream just before the hard part. Honestly, you really had to be intercambing right now. That opportunity really could have showed up, especially knowing that mcy4 breaks not long after his. Honestly, pretty unfortunate situation for intercambing, but regardless, he's got his pick through. Hard Rock 3 is next come on. Out Future, French, from Silent Room. Tell me about this map, Dio. What do you think?
Aim control, finger control, act test, hard rock map. Intercambing is a very, very good hard rock player. I don't think the qualifier results really showed that all that much, as he actually, I think, topped the hidden mod in qualifiers and kind of into the hard rocks a little bit, but he is a player who is known for his hard rock in tournament. Is a very, very good hard rock player, and kind of expected that he's going to pick into stuff like this. That said, there's enough aim control in this map where I think mcy4 still has a good chance of taking a break point, and it kind of goes that way for all of these maps, right? We've already seen the first two picks of this match go very, very close. I mean, the highest score lead that we had was 31,000 so far in the first two picks. So these players are very well matched with each other, and there's still a chance for a breakpoint on pretty much any of these maps that we're going to see, but I do think this is slightly favored toward intercambing. Very, very good act player, very, very good hard rock player, in spite of the aim control advantage that mcy4 does have on something like this. Intercambing going to have to pay very good attention to the combo game on this map, as mcy4 actually holds 98% accuracy on this map. What is that act? We just saw this in Xylus versus Chiconi, and at this point, both of them were holding like 91, 92% accuracy. The 90... Oh, no! Intercambing! No! Oh, right in the middle of the map, too.
Missing halfway through the map on score v2 is detrimental to your final score. That cut stream pattern tripped up into Cami, but mcy4 continues to hold, not only with the solid FC, but brilliant accuracy to boot. You mentioned, Dio, about the aim control, but we haven't talked about really the finger control. There are lots of doubles and funky polyrhythmic patterns in this map. And we've noticed that mcy4 really knows what he's doing in that finger control department, aim control as well, no slouch one bit. It's a similar pattern to the previous matches here, where intercambing with one miss on a certain section towards the late stages of the map ends up being his fate. mcy4 may break, but that's nowhere near that bad enough for him to potentially lose the lead. 200,000, 220,000 score difference here. Late stages of the map, it's over. mcy4 3-0 up.
And it seems like the same thing keeps happening every single map. Intercambing misses first, and then mcy4 wins the map. It just keeps happening. I don't know if this is how it's going to be the entire way through, but if it is, intercambing needs to miss really early so that mcy4 misses like halfway through the map, right? If it's always intercambing missing first and then mcy4 missing, I feel like the way that intercambing wins is just shit missing the beginning so the mcy4 misses halfway through instead of at the very end, right? Reverse the roles a little bit here. Get the reverse choke in, because
guys, swap your cosplays. It's time to change. It's time to change. Swap your cosplays. Let them miss early. Maybe make this match a little bit more even. But we do see Hidden 3 pick for mcy4. This is a solid pick. Chime, not only a banger song, might I add, Lapix never stops making bangers, man. Absolutely incredible song. But this is a hidden tech map. This is the hidden tech map of the pool. What do you think about this? I think this is a solid pick here for mcy4. Not only solid on the hidden, but very strong on the tech. We've talked about his prowess as a tech player in the past, before he started climbing up the ranks significantly. This is definitely a really good pick from him. I think intercambing definitely has an opportunity here. Very strong on hidden. Number 1 on the hidden rankings and qualifiers. No slouch at all. And I think this is a repeated kind of thought mindset with these maps, is that, you know, despite we can see these glaring strengths from each player on each of their picks, but the other player is no slouch one bit. So once again, I'm expecting a pretty close map here.
Yeah.
Hopefully not the same pattern.
Hopefully not the same pattern. As we get into this, though, you can kind of see exactly what this map is testing. It's not so much a slider tech map like the No Mod 4. Much more focused on the aim control, on things like these accelerating, decelerating. Okay, there's the early miss for intercambing. Will it come true? Will mcy4 break halfway through? Okay, intercambing's missing too much. Oh, okay, there's mcy4 missing. We get a couple of misses from both of these players. Nobody really comfortable on this, it seems like. Intercambing at 90% accuracy. mcy4 down at 94. And you can see the flow aim and the changes between flow and snap aim really getting to both of these players on this map, as neither of them really able to hold on to a decisive combo in this map. There's another slider break to come through for mcy4. The accuracy and combo is recovering for intercambing, but you can see the hold on it is tenuous. I mean, really having to forcefully snap to some of these cut double streams over and over again for intercambing. But now we get into a little bit of a slower part. This is not necessarily free combo, but it's much easier than a lot of the other parts in this map so far. And that score lead for mcy4 is going down. Camming has to hold, though. The accuracy 2% down for him. Really needs a high combo going into the ending of this map in order to make things happen.
Coming into this final KI building up. We've seen both players break multiple times in a row, but intercambing does have that small combo advantage. The score is going to flip. Finally, KI comes through. A little bit more slidery stuff coming through here, but so far both players are holding, but intercambing continues to hold that lead. Intercambing goes down. mcy4 now gets the score lead back together. Accuracy to boot to help increase that score lead a little bit further. If mcy4 breaks, I don't think it's going to be enough regardless. The score lead is slowly increasing further and further away from intercambing's hands. And once again, mcy4 takes another map from intercambing. Solid stuff. Intercambing had that lead, but once again, the break, the last second, gets to him. And half the script was written, Dio. You sent him half the script, and he seemed to have not gotten the end part. The shivers at the start, the trade after. He didn't read the rest of it. Unfortunately not. 4-0 for mcy4, and Hard Rock 4 is picked next for intercambing.
Just a tough match for intercambing. I mean, this is what happens in these early rounds. You get these types of early round matchups where you have a high seed versus a low seed. And it's not like intercambing is a bad player, right? This is a player who, in most tournaments, you would be very happy to have this player on your team. Somebody who's won Perennial twice in a row. I believe has won Course Ace as well. I'm going to have to check myself on that. I don't actually know if that's true. Regardless, very high placing in multiple Course Ace Opens, and has had very solid, third place in the Course Ace Open this year.
Yeah,
but
third place this year, yeah.
You know, very good player. Top number 17 in the world, for God's sakes. It's not like any of these players, by any stretch, are bad at all. But the level of consistency needed to perform over and over again on a pool like this is next level. And right now, mcy4 is in full control of that consistency during this match, as intercambing finds yet another early miss on his own pick, this Hard Rock 4. Really old-style 2013 awkward aim speed burst map.
I like to call this map Goreshit Hard Rock, because that's what it reminds me of. That's what I think when I see this map. Early break from intercambing, though. Unfortunately, not a good situation for him at the start of this, but we are in very early stages of this map here. We could easily see a break from mcy4. This is intercambing's preference, but we see the break, but these players see mcy4 might be under a little bit more pressure here. We're about a quarter of the way through the map, but he's got to hold on to that combo. Intercambing, recovering decently well, getting that 200 combo back together, getting yourself back on that roll. That early break doesn't seem to have phased him too bad. But this map is consistent. It stays mostly similar, maybe a little bit of a jump in difficulty towards the late stages. But aside from that, it's pretty much the same things we've talked about before, Dio. It's only a matter of really whether mcy4 will give away his lead.
Yeah, it's not... It's going to be tough for intercambing, honestly, to find the comeback in this, as with how well mcy4 has been playing so far, it doesn't seem like he's got all that many shakes or jitters or anything, and it's not as though mcy4 is bad at speed maps like this either. You look at the top plays for mcy4, number 1 is an 800 PP DT play, right? It's not as though this player is bad at DT aim or DT speed either. We already saw the full combo on DT1 come out. So this is not a player who's going to be all that phased by a little bit of a speed requirement like you have in this map. Intercambing really needing to hold on to as much AC as possible in the back half here, as if anything is going to do it, it's either going to be a random miss from mcy4 or an AC advantage on intercambing, even despite the combo deficit. But is there enough map left to bring that AC up to bar? I don't think there is. We're 120,000 score lead right now for mcy4 as we get into the ending here. And like you said, Shiva, there's not that much of a spike in difficulty in this map. It's really kind of the same all throughout. And neither of these players have really showed all that much discomfort, but the early miss for intercambing might just decide everything on this map, as there are no shakes, no jitters, and no breaks coming through for mcy4. That's going to be the FC, and that's going to be a 5-0 start for the higher seeded player in this match.
Honestly, this score lead does not like reflect how good both of these players are. Intercambing just is so tragic for intercambing. If you're an intercambing fan, you're crying right now. The amount of times he's just barely missed out on an FC that gets him points. It's gutting. Honestly, mcy4 is showing how strong he is consistently, how much he's able to kind of continuously hold on to that combo that he's got. He's a strong combo gamer, man. Accuracy to boot. No more 3. Immediately pick straight after. Match point for mcy4. This is his pick. This could be ugly.
mcy4 knows exactly what he wants to go for. After the Hard Rock 3 and Hidden 3 victories, mcy4 says, you know what else starts with 3? No mod 3. Or I guess ends with 3 in this case. Whatever. Yeah. It's the same type of map. Not exactly the same, right? You can see in this map a lot more focused on flow aim than on either of the previous Hidden 3 or Hard Rock 3 picks, but the style of alt map, something that mcy4, again, very, very good at. Relatively aim control focused. There's a little bit of finger control and a little bit of snap aim later on, but there's the early miss for intercambing. Once again, 99.5 accuracy, not mattering if you don't have the combo. And we are over a quarter of the way into the map, so I say early miss, but this is a short map. That miss is no longer all that early. And mcy4 is still holding on to the FC with impeccable accuracy. There's if you are intercambing, you just have to pray for a miss during the diff spike. There is a diff spike in this map about 2/3 of the way through. It comes in the form of these back and forth alt jumps, followed by some 1-6 patterns, as well as a big slider stream. So if either player misses on it, it comes up right after this break section. Let's see. This will probably decide the map. mcy4 already says GG. Wow, the confidence.
Wow. mcy4 feeling confident, hits those sections. Intercambing also joins him in holding that section, but once again, Dio, the early break really, really hurts him. But the confidence from mcy4 definitely convinces me that I think he's definitely going to hold on to this. The accuracy, very, very even.
Oh my god.
Intercambing may have a small lead. Oh, they both hit it. They're both hitting this.
Talk about confidence. Talk about mental. To have that kind of mental game where you can write out in smoke GG before the hard part of the map is even over. You already know you're going to hit it. You already know you're going to win. And there's the FC, 99.5% accuracy. That is just absurd from mcy4 to have that level of consistency all throughout the match and to close it out in 6-0, absolutely dominant fashion. That was a ridiculous showing from your number 5 seed in the tournament. mcy4 absolutely crushing it.
I think if there's one thing to learn from this specific match is that mcy4, despite having his particular strengths, he is still consistent on everything. He is a brilliant all-rounder, man. And going against someone similar to his kind of how do I say, his presentation as a tournament player, where you're so well-rounded, so good at every skill set mostly. You do have your particular strengths, but you don't really have a major weak point. mcy4 shows his dominance in that all-roundedness and takes intercambing down with not a single map lost. And the confidence towards the end is brilliant to see. Giga Chad face on mcy4, man. Not only taking massive picks from intercambing, you know, maps that we kind of assumed intercambing would probably take, like the double time 1 at the start. He continues to pop off, man, and he really made a great performance today. And I'm very excited to see how he's going to match up in the future matchups next week.
Yeah, I mean, it was just it was an absurdly dominant match from mcy4. It's not that intercambing performed poorly at all. You saw multiple maps where the score was within 30,000 of each other for both of these players. It's just that mcy4 was that much better. He was just that much more consistent and made it happen very easily during this part of the match. I mean, just fantastic performance all around from a player that I think a lot of people weren't exactly expecting to put up that type of dominant performance in this matchup.
This might be the tournament where mcy4 really makes a much bigger name for himself. He's always been known in the tournament scene as a really strong tournament all-rounder, especially being a well-rounded player for Hong Kong, a strong contributor to their results in OWC. But this might be the time where he makes the name for himself, or he can join the big known players that the rest of the world knows. This could be like a big tournament for him. And going up against someone like Ninrik or Takedo in the next matchup is going to be very exciting.
Yeah, I agree. I'm excited to see the next matchup for mcy4, regardless of who makes it through.
Yeah,
I think we'll have an interesting matchup. You know, Takedo, somebody who's known for kind of the same things as mcy4, very good hidden reading player, and very good speed player, very good speed finger control player for Takedo on top of that. Ninrik, kind of the opposite of both of them. Very strong speed player, mechanics player. So I think we'll get an interesting matchup one way or the other in that quarterfinals match. And as for the case of intercambing, of course, we're going to have to check out the losers bracket for him.
He's kind of sitting there on his own, man, but the loser of the number 3 match, which is going to happen later today, is going to decide his next matchup. But I honestly don't think this is the end of intercambing. This match that he played against mcy4, yes, mcy4 was very strong, very dominant. Intercambing, one miss changed everything. And that is the important thing to come back with from this match, is that he was so close to taking multiple maps from mcy4, but it was the consistency and the nerve control from mcy4 that continued his push and continued him to keep winning those maps. But honestly, I really don't think this is the end of intercambing. I'm looking forward to seeing him pop off even more in the losers bracket.
Definitely the same for me. And we're going to decide his losers bracket opponent later on today. The winner of Takedo versus Ninrik is actually going to be his losers bracket opponent. So that'll be the last matchup of the day. For our next matchup, starting in about 30 minutes, we have Malashevsky versus Subik, the number 1 versus number 16 seeds out of qualifiers. Malashevsky with a domineering lead out of qualifiers compared to everyone else. We talked about this in the qualifier seeding reveal, but in terms of average score, there's a larger gap between Malashevsky and Zudinator, our number 2 seed, than there was between Zudinator and Swig. So the kind of dominating performance that Malashevsky had in qualifiers cannot be understated. My question is, while we get ready for this next match, will Malashevsky live up to the expectations, or will Swick be able to pull off some kind of an upset, score some points off of Malashevsky? So I think that's really the expectation, is that Malashevsky takes this 6-0. So for me, I want to see whether Swick can upset that sort of expectation.
Honestly, who doesn't, man? Swick has definitely done really well to qualify to the top 16 against so many massive players. We've also got plenty of other surprising ones. Amamito Kroko again top 3. That is a great result. Something very exciting to see, and definitely seeing a lot of potential for Amamito Kroko to pop up. But that's a prime example. Swig is another one of those prime examples. But having to go against someone as unfathomably strong as Malashevsky, it is not over-exaggeration to say that Malashevsky is one of the most dominant tournament players we have ever seen. So I am honestly excited to see what he's going to do, whether this is against Swick or what he's going to do in the far future, whether it be in the round table or just in this qualifier alone. He is definitely the name, the favorite in this tournament. But to see Swick take any map from Malashevsky is a great achievement. But if we see an upset, that is going to shatter the world, man. Everyone is going to lose it. And Swick might be like a massive, massive underdog. Honestly, I'm excited to see what happens. I may not be casting the match, but I'll definitely be watching it. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Next match is coming up in about half an hour. Don't go anywhere. I've been Shiva. With me today has been the wonderful Dio, who's also been streaming this. So big thanks to Dio. Absolute giga chad that he is. Have a wonderful rest of your day, ladies and gentlemen. I look forward to seeing this match, and I hope you are too. We'll see you later.